How to heal mold intoxication, mold illness, CIRS. That's how they call it. Chronic inflammatory response syndrome. So you have to understand that every human at some point can be sensitive to mold toxins. Mold is a result of bad construction. What do I mean by that? The only buildings that a human being should live in is concrete. The reason why is because wood, drywall, 2x4s made by wood are extremely porous. What does that mean? Whenever wood, plywood, and drywall gets in contact with water, it rots and it becomes moldy. What happens to concrete when it gets wet? Nothing, it just dries because concrete is a non-porous substance. If you're struggling with mold and you live in a house, in an apartment that was built with wood or drywall, plywood, any of these things, it probably has mold because probably under construction it rained on it, so it became moldy. If you recently got sick after moving in a new apartment and you're wondering if mold is the problem, then it probably is, because if you live in a place that's made out of wood and made out of plywood, drywall, that stuff, when it gets wet, it gets moldy. But you have to be aware of choosing the right place where you live. Even when you go out on a vacation in a hotel. Right now, I'm in a skyscraper that's only made out of concrete. So, concrete and metal studs. There's no 2x4s. So, if anything, if there's ever a leak in the skyscraper, it just dries, it doesn't become moldy. So, it's super important to understand where you live. If you suffer from symptoms, you don't know what it is, it could be mold. If you live in a place where it's built of wood, drywall, plywood, 2x4s, they've probably been wet from a water leak or during construction when they were building these buildings. They got wet, now they're moldy. When you move into the property, you get sick. And you have to move out because there's no other way. You have to, if you live in a house, you have to make sure that there's no water leak and that the house is made out of mostly concrete. If not, you're always going to be dealing with this. So live in a house that's made out of concrete and metal studs, no wood, no plywood. You're going to lower the chances of being exposed to mold. Because in concrete environment, there can be mold because it's a non-porous substance. Do that and you're gonna finally heal from mold. That's how I was able to heal from mold for good, because I understood where the source was coming from. And it was not from just, oh, a house is moldy. No, it's because a set of houses will always be moldy if they're made out of the wrong porous material, which is wood, plywood, and 2x4s, and drywall. When I moved into a concrete house, I healed. And it's that simple. And back then, that's all they used to build buildings with, concrete. So, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna stay in the same place with the illness, or are you gonna look for a concrete place where you can heal? Move so you can heal. Let's go.